All right, today is the day. The new Bruce Springsteen biopic, Deliver Me From Nowhere, is officially in theaters, and our next guest knows a thing or two about the boss. Stevie Van Zandt is a longtime member and guitarist in the E Street Band, and as you well know, his resume ranges from Rock and Roll Hall of Famer to radio host, even acting roles like his iconic Silvio Dante of The Sopranos. Well, now he's on a mission to bring his passion for music and arts to more than 3 million students nationwide, and I'm excited to share with you that joining us now in Studio 55 is Stevie Van Zandt, and we wanted to make sure that you felt home here in our green screen studio. So we've transformed it, as viewers can see, to Asbury Park, New Jersey. A warm welcome to you, man.
Nice to be here,
great
man.
to have you here.
Thanks.
You've known Bruce Springsteen since childhood, so I'm just wondering your thoughts on this movie that's out today and what you make of it.
Yeah, it's a wonderful movie. It really is, and quite different from what's going on these days, you know. And it's wonderful, all the comic books and video games and cartoons and special effects that most young people are seeing in the movies. That's all wonderful. But this is the other side of it. This is like old school filmmaking, you know. And it's a bit slower paced. And once you make the adjustment, you're going to get a big reward emotionally, because it's just a masterful work of art, this film. I mean, it's really something special.
All right,
and I think everybody just needs to adjust to the pace, you know, slow down a little bit and enjoy the actual filmmaking, just like we used to do.
Take some time to slow down. Well,
Yeah.
well, let's talk more about you, because what's remarkable is that you've touched so many lives, so many people know who you are, either through your music or your acting and artistic endeavors, and you have something called TeachRock, and more than 1 million students across the US have benefited from a program that, as you were sharing with me earlier, tries to connect pop, rock music and icons that young people will know with important historic lessons. What is it? How did you develop this?
Yeah, it's teaching history through music, basically. The original idea, I mean, when you start looking at education today, you realize there's way too many dropouts. The dropout rate in the poor neighborhoods is close to 50% in some places,
Wow.
which is just intolerable. And half of those kids end up in the justice system, you know. So we thought, you know, we need to have a class that people want to go to. Statistics show if kids like one single class or one single teacher, they'll come to school. All right. So if we can improve the graduation rates, or at least give them a shot, you know.
And how do you do that? What would a lesson look like?
Well, the idea is to be compelling enough to keep them there. You know, these days you have to give them a reason to be in that classroom. They can get any answer they want in 30 seconds on their device, right? You know, so you have to curate it. And we do that by making it interesting for them, by you know, using contemporary artists, you know. We use Kendrick Lamar, for instance, to connect to Marvin Gaye, for instance, for the civil rights movement, you know, things like that. And we use other pop
you were mentioning
artists.
the Beatles as well.
Well,
like
yeah,
how
we use
many
for the math class, we might use the Beatles. How many hours did they spend at the Cavern Club, for instance? Or you know, science might be the way the Grateful Dead built their PA system. You know, we make it interesting for them. You know, because but we stay within the science, technology, engineering, and math, you know, basic curriculum that school requires, but we integrate art into that. So that was another one of our goals, was to make sure that the arts stay in the DNA of the public education system, you know, because they're being removed left and right, you know. And this generation needed a new methodology to deal with the fact that they can get the answer in 30 seconds on their device, right? So they need a reason to be there. And we wanted to do that. We wanted to make it fun for them. You know, let's make it fun for the kids that come to school again.
Why not? Considering their short attention spans. Speaking of 30 seconds, in our last few seconds, for a young person who's watched you either perform or act, wants to be like you, why are the arts and artistic expression, why is it important?
Well, it's its own reward, first of all. I mean, it gets you in touch with your spirituality, your inner self, you know, and nothing can take that away from you, you know, because these days things are moving so fast, you know. It's why we use the arts in the classroom to connect the dots in life. And it's more interesting for us to teach kids how to think than what to think, you know.
thank you so much for what you do. It's great to see you fit and well. We want to see you keep rocking for many more years, and you're going to have to share with me where you got that jacket, because I'm going to want my own as well. Stevie Van Zandt, we really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you, my friend.
And we'll be right back. This is CBS News 24/7.